I believe wholeheartedly that computers should bring us joy. In my personal opinion, in my personal feelings, way down deep inside, I feel like if computers aren't bringing joy into our lives, then they're not worth it. Toss them out. Get rid of them. I know computers are tools. They're works of amazing engineering that are doing complex math for us and all that sort of thing. I know they're practical. They're practical tools. But for me, for how computing interacts with my life, how it always has, if it's not bringing joy into my life, if it's not bringing a little spark of laughter or happiness or contentedness or joy, I don't want it around. I don't need it. And so I've been thinking about this a lot for a long time. And there are many very serious topics in the computery world. Very serious things around privacy and ethics and all sorts of stuff that really get pretty serious and sometimes get kind of dark. And I've covered a lot of these topics in articles and podcasts and videos and in speeches that I've given in front of sometimes 1,000 people. I mean, and some of them get kind of intense and dark. And some of that really bums me out. I mean, some of it just gets way too bummery. And so I tried to start changing my tactic a little bit. Because I don't want to be bummed out about stuff. I just don't, you know? Like there's very serious topics. But I wanted to find a way to approach those very serious, very real topics that have real world impacts and consequences from a way that brought me a smile or a chuckle or some level of happiness and joy. My life became a little bit brighter because of the way I tackled a topic, no matter how dark or serious that topic was. And so not too long ago, I sort of just kind of rebranded what the work that I do with the Lunduke Journal to be predominantly satire, to tackle the big issues that come up in technology through satire, right? To make the points that I need to make the points about goodness or respect or all sorts of technical issues just through the lens of, well, let's make fun of this. let's get a good laugh. Because if we can't laugh about stuff, we are doomed. We are just doomed. So like, for example, privacy is important, right? So I could write yet another article, yet another video about one of the many, many gratuitous abuses of surveillance and privacy that we all experience on an almost daily basis. There's just so many. Or I could write an article that I entitled, "Man Tweets, I am concerned about privacy from always connected pocket surveillance device." And then I went on to joke about that for a while because it made me giggle. And it made the point just as well. I didn't need to sit there and repeat my mantra about how privacy is important and beat you over the head with a fish with it forever. We could just have a good chuckle and move on, and it makes the point. I wrote an article. I don't know if you can really call these articles. I wrote a satirical piece with words entitled "GitHub Announces Co-CEO." Right? Because of the co-pilot thing with GitHub, if you followed along with that, I mean, it has some very real ramifications. It has some licensing issues because it scours from every repository and piece of code on GitHub and injects it into other people's projects with no concern about whatever the original license of that code was or the license of the project that it was inserted into, right? So there's licensing legal issues there. But it also has issues in terms of like like the potential laziness of programmers and code bloat and all sorts of things. So I did a satirical piece where GitHub announces a co-CEO, where the co-CEO is an artificial intelligence that has the ideas for you, and then uses Copilot to create all the code for you, so you don't have to do anything at all. Right? Again, just tackling it from a way that amused me. And I put all these up over at lunduke.com, and it's helped me. I don't know what it does for you guys, but it helped me. It helped keep my head screwed on straight, and it helped kind of not bum me out with bummery topics all the time. Like another one that honestly was one of my favorites. This was one of the lesser performing ones, because these articles, I read them out in like a video audio form and post them to lunduke.locals.com and YouTube right now. And, and people watch them there, and the reaction's is mostly positive, but mixed. But the articles seem to be doing really well. And, it might just be because people are used to reading satirical pieces in article form, I guess, more often than like video form. But like the articles here are outperforming the videos like 10 to 20 to 1, which is great. I mean, it's fine. It's certainly easier on the bandwidth. But this one was one of the least well-performing articles I did. I titled it "Apple Bans Whimsy from the iOS App Store." And this was because I wrote this after Apple banned the iDOS emulator from iPhones and iPads. So there's this iDOS emulator that is a version of DOSBox that a developer put this really nice UI on, where it has like these little virtual floppy drives and everything. So you can play DOS games on your iPhone, right? I mean, that's just fun. That's just happy. That brings joy into your life, and computing should have joy, right? And so Apple banned it, and there's no good reason for banning that. I mean, come on. And so I'm like, man, so what's the real issue here? The real issue here for me is that Apple is just seeming to be at war with joy. So I created a whole thing where Apple created a whimsy scale and started banning applications that scored too highly on the whimsy scale and all that sort of thing. It made me smile, and it made me feel better about the whole thing. It's my least well-performing piece. It's the least well-performing satirical piece I've written so far. Is the Apple? I don't even think 20,000 people read that article. Not even. Maybe 15,000 people read it. I'll have to check the stats. But read the Apple bans whimsy from iOS App Store. I mean, it's by far the least performing article, but it's like one of the ones that made me the happiest. Let me go back here. Hold on. My internet's not working really well. Another one that did not perform well, but I really liked. I'm just kind of going to talk about this for a second. I wrote this other piece. This was from July 30th. I wrote one called "Just One More Patch and the Entire Internet Will Be Secure." Because people have so many misunderstandings about how internet and interconnected security works, and just people have so many fundamental misunderstandings about this sort of thing, and so many people just don't seem to realize that we're going to be experiencing more data breaches and more hacks all the time. Like there's no end in sight to this stuff. Right? Like it's going to be happening nonstop, and it's going to escalate. It's just because as software gets more complex and more interdependent with other systems and more interconnected, there becomes an almost exponentially increasing number of points of failure and points of vulnerability, and it cannot be secured at this point, right? I mean, it just can't. It's not possible for any significantly complex, interconnected, interdependent, internet-enabled system to be fully secure. And the more people that get on systems, the more high-profile targets. Anyway, there's just no way to do it. And so I wanted to do this piece around this, just kind of driving that home, but in a less bummery way, because that's a bummer topic, right? Because there's just no way to stop it at this point. We're on a railroad a railroad engine, a train, that's what they're called, that's just out of control, and it's not going to slow down, and it's just going to get less stable forever. Right? And so how do I tackle that topic without it just being 100% doom and gloom? Well, I'll go full satirical on it. Or California outlaws computers that are, quote, too fun, because that's a real thing that happened. California is created those laws that basically, said that if you make these gaming PCs that draw too much electricity, you can't buy them and have them imported into California. Like, because Dell Computers bought Alienware, right? So Alienware makes these, some pretty cool pieces of hardware. But if you buy certain Alienware gaming PCs from Dell in Texas, you can't have them imported into California. It's a crime. Because the computers are too fun. So I wrote this piece that listed out things that, the computers that were illegal in California now because they're too fun, like processors that are too fast, monitors with refresh rates that do not give you a headache, and keyboards with keys that are, quote, pretty clicky. It amused me, and so I did it. And I've been doing these articles, and there's a whole bunch of them up over there. You can read through them all. What's funny is a lot of them, invariably, most of them have resulted in comments from people where, especially over on YouTube, like if I've posted these on YouTube, invariably people make comments, and this amuses me, that I'm posting fake news or misinformation. So one person even said that I was posting dangerous misinformation. I'm sorry, but that almost brings me more joy than the satirical pieces themselves. I put up one that was Microsoft releases Windows 3.1 as open source. I mean, obviously they didn't do that, right? Obviously they didn't do that. And so many people, oh my gosh, it was off the charts. So many people told me that this is fake news. This is misinformation. Oh, there goes Lunduk again, spreading more dangerous misinformation. And some of those people, I think after a while, were doing it to make fun of the people that did it seriously. But a lot of people, like literally as they read the article, they couldn't grasp that it was satire. And I'm going to read you this quote from the article and see if you can spot where the giveaway is that it's satire. Quote, "I mean, why wouldn't we do this? It was so obvious," stated Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. "Because we love open source, right?" All in italics. "And it's not like we have earned any money from Windows 3.1 for a stinking long time anyway. Heck, the only reason we would not do this would be if we actually hated open source and just wanted to be jerks. But we're not jerks. And like we said, we love open source. So, ta-da." Okay, what was the giveaway there that it was satire? Other than the whole thing. Like there's no way Satya Nadella would talk like that. And people are like, oh my gosh, dangerous fake news. Dangerous fake news. People are going to be so misinformed here, Lunduk. Oh my gosh. I hope people keep responding like that. At least a few, just because it's just so ridiculous. Dangerous misinformation. Anyway, it's brought me a fair bit of joy, and I want to thank everyone who's helped to spread these around, because I really appreciate it. I actually got let me see if I can bring this up here, because I got banned from Reddit. Let me bring this up here. This is a real thing. I got banned from Reddit because I wrote a satirical piece entitled, quote, "C programming language removes racist semicolon." Because, right? I mean, it's clearly not a real thing, right? It's clearly a way over the top bit of satire. So I went and posted that over on Reddit, and I posted it. I can't remember what subreddit I posted it to, but I posted it to like one of the nerdy or programmer humor ones. And I don't use Reddit very much, but every couple of months, like I get like this little like, hey, you know what? I should go use Reddit. So I'll go on to Reddit and I'll post something, right? And it never really results in much. Like other people have posted my stuff to Reddit and had some success with it, but whenever I post my stuff to Reddit, people just like ignore it. Mostly because I get shadow banned most places. But I got banned from Reddit entirely. Reddit literally sent me a thing that stated my account had been suspended. I put a screenshot up on my website. So they suspended me after I posted C programming language removes racist semicolon. Now there's no like swearing, right? Because I don't do that, right? If you go through all the articles on my website, there's no swearing, there's no profanity. I don't attack anybody. It's really pretty straightforward stuff, right? And it's clearly a satirical piece. I don't know if they told me why I was banned, but that happened, and then they banned me. So if you want to go spread this all over the place, if you want to get banned from Reddit, go ahead and share some of my satire pieces. But anyway, I really appreciate everyone who shared them around, because it's become fairly successful. And I wasn't sure when I started making a transition over to satirical pieces. I kind of did it on a lark. I thought I'll do this for like a week or two. And I wrote a couple of them. And I did this earlier in the year. And then I went back to doing non-satirical pieces, right? And the satire pieces kept performing well. And then after a while, I'd go back and I'd look at the pieces of satire that I wrote. And they made me smile. And I'm like, dude, I just went back and looked at a thing I did just like a few weeks or a few months ago, and it made me smile again. I'm like, I want to do more of that. And so now I've been focusing on doing pretty much all that. That's not all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to keep on doing, the podcast type stuff like here, like Lunduke and Friends and everything else. And I'll keep posting about my projects and whatnot. But when I'm tackling the harder pieces, I kind of want to focus on things that bring me joy and things that bring you joy, and spreading a little bit of love in the nerdy world and a little bit of happiness, putting an extra smile on a couple people's faces. I think it's worthwhile. I think it's worth doing. There should be more of this, I think. And I'm doing it in part because I want more of it myself. And we'll see where it goes as time goes on. But I'm really getting a kick out of it. So again, thanks to everyone who's helped spread the word about it. It's kind of spread. The articles have spread further than just my like video channels and my locals place and everything else. People have been like, oh, they really like the articles. So I'm like, great. So go over to lunduke.com. There's an RSS feed there, so you can get them as they come out, or you can subscribe over at lunduke.locals.com, and I post them there as they come out as well. Plus, you can kind of be part of the community there, and all that good stuff. For the time being, at least, I'm posting these also up on YouTube, which I kind of had stopped doing for a while. But then the website I was posting things to on YouTube started going all weird, so I'm just posting these on YouTube again. What the heck? I also created a Rumble account. I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep doing that or not. I haven't really promoted it at all, but if you use the Rumbles, go sign up for it. There's a link on lunduke.com, and if enough people like it, I'll keep posting to it. I mean, it's fine. Only takes me a couple extra minutes to upload it over there as well, so no big deal. And I hope everyone is having a good time. I hope you've been enjoying the satire. Go through them and let me know what you think. I would genuinely love to know which ones you guys like, right? Because I have my favorites, right? I really like the Apple Whimsy one. There's one or two pieces I've done where I've made mention of Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, being the reincarnation of Rasputin. I've mentioned that, I think, in 2 or 3 of the satirical pieces now, and it's unrelated to the piece. Like, I'll have at the end, like, quote, and Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, chanted an incantation in Russian and ran screaming into the woods, or something like that, right? Because once you see it, someone mentioned, and I can't remember who mentioned it now, but someone mentioned that Jack Dorsey was like the tech CEO version of Rasputin. And once you look at him, and you start thinking about it, you're like, you know what? You can't unsee that. He's Rasputin, man. Anyway. Oh, and if you do sign up over at Locals, you get all the extra goodies. If you go to lunduke.com, there's a categories section where you can see my comic strips, my satirical pieces, and some of the big shows I've done. I'm getting more and more of the big shows posted there so people can go through them. You know, the Linux Sucks and some of the bigger interviews I've done over the years and whatnot there. But there's also one there that says supporter exclusives. And you click on that, you get the books and the comic books and some of the exclusive videos and that sort of thing. And I'm kind of adding some more things to that. Just a little way of saying thank you to all the people that help keep this thing going. Whatever this is that I do, you keep it going, and I want to high five you for it. And so this is my sort of digital high five to you because you're amazing and you deserve more high fives. Anyway, so tune in next week. Next Thursday night, I'm going to be recording Lunduke and Friends, not with just me, not... It's not even Lunduke and Friend tonight. It's just Lunduke and Perpetual Loneliness. But the other side of the screen, the right side of the screen, will be replaced by another human being, and we'll be tackling some of your questions, chit-chatting about some fun, nerdy topics, and hanging out. And if you want to make sure you get that as soon as it comes out, go sign up over at lunduke.locals.com. Just do it. You love it. You love doing it, and you want to do it, and it's really great. I'm also over at Patreon too, but the lunduke.locals.com is where it's at. Like, that's just the best. That's the best way to support what I do. It's the greatest community on earth. There's no trolls, there's no cursing, no swearing. It's just family-friendly, happy, nerdy fun, like it should be. Like it should be. Anyway, love all of you. All of you are fantastic. I hope you're having a great evening, and I hope you got to do something really nerdy today. And if you did, I want to hear about it. Tell me about it. Go to lunduke.locals.com and tell me about it, or just tell me about it some other way. I still want to hear. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you later.